I'm Amanda Christine Harth.
And I'm Felton Kaiser, and we are the co-founders of Monday Coffee.
And we are here today with the creator of Reform School, Peter Gaona.
Welcome, Peter.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Peter.
Thanks for having me.
So what does your day-to-day look like? Because you are a small business owner, entrepreneur in the midst of a pandemic.
Day-to-day. So most of my business has switched to strictly e-commerce. So working, but not as much, because I used to do pop-ups and travel to do, different events. Normally, like I would be just getting back from New York, because I usually go to New York to do like a pop-up at the Schoenberg Center in Harlem, some stuff in Brooklyn, and then come back and do the Chicago markets.
All the holiday calls.
Yes.
Yeah. You're moving around.
Wow.
I'm a night owl, so I'm up super late, even before the pandemic. Like, it's just, I'm the most creative, I feel like, then, and there's not a lot of distractions for me, so I can sew, I can package all of my items, I can do, print the labels and drive to the post office at whatever time, because there's nobody else out, so telling all my secrets, but but no, like the post office downtown, it used to be 24 hours, and now they close at midnight, but there's really like no line. So I would go and see all the other entrepreneurs who are doing the same thing at like 12 o'clock at night, like getting all those packages out so they can go out. But yeah, I mean, still working, still figuring out like how to switch from an in-person experience to e-commerce, and how I'm not like a tech person, so I'm not like super tech friendly, but I'm part of a L1 fellowship with Arts and Public Life, and getting some assistance from that fellowship as to how to boost the presence online. And for so long, like everything had been pop-ups, and I just had like an Etsy shop, and I didn't have my own website, and I finally like pulled the plug, and I still have Etsy, but I have my own like dedicated website now.
Okay.
So kind of like switching to that, getting everything like set up. Still, it's still new to me, because I'll open a page, like the message that gets sent out to your customers when they buy something, I'll open it, and like on Etsy, you could just type in like, I wanted to say this, but on Shopify, it's like all in code, and I'm like, okay, I'm not touching it. Like I'm gonna mess something up. So I'm just like, let me email somebody else to show me how to do this, or let me watch a YouTube video to walk me through how to change,
Right. So it seems like your day-to-day has been a lot of learning.
Definitely a lot of learning. Yeah. Researching, like still trying to come up with new products too. I mean, like, I feel like at the beginning of the pandemic, I was like super depressed and like, what am I gonna do? Like stressing out.
Yeah.
And I think like, for me, I had to take a break from like social media and just kind of like fill myself back up, because I was like really down, and just needed to get like motivated again to want to do something, because I don't know, when you like make things, you don't want to do them while you're not out of love. You want to make everything with love, for me. And absolutely. I feel like it shows when in the quality of of the products, when you're not doing it with love.
Yeah, so I've been curious, just like how people are able to find like peace, currently, but even like beyond, right, the pandemic, especially like Black people, right? It's like, so I'm curious, how are you able to find peace, moments of peace, and even how do you hold on to them?
I think like disconnecting sometimes from social media has to be a part of everybody's. Like, I want to know, like, my work is about social justice, and so I need to know what's happening in the world, right? But sometimes it's just too much. Like it can depress you so much that you just need to disconnect. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you just don't want to watch the news because you're tired of hearing another Black person getting killed by the police, or just another Black person getting killed, period. Right? So you have to disconnect from that and just fill yourself back up, so you can give what you do, give what you can to other people too.
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's disconnecting and like, just gotta take a breath and like get yourself back together so that you're not dragging people down, you know?
Yeah, and I'm also curious because of the work you do with Reform School, right?
Yeah.
It's like, do you find yourself, taking setbacks from creating? Just, and if you're able just to speak a little bit more, on what you do with Reform School.
Yeah, so Reform School is an eco-fashion brand that uses fashion and accessories to teach Black history, social justice, some pop culture, and then kind of tying it into the environment as well with some of the products. So using like recycled or repurposed materials to make some of the artwork. Usually it has like a little description card or a history card on the back saying like, this was inspired by, or this is where this civil rights poster came from and when it was used, and just kind of like showing some of the historic civil rights posters of how 50, 60 years ago, we're still fighting for these same rights,
Yeah.
And it's just crazy that it's just, this cycle is still repeating itself. And how do we talk about it and resolve it? How do we create solutions to this, I think knowing the history, having conversation is part of it. So hopefully that's like helping to do that.
Yeah.
So I used to direct Ailey Camp Chicago,
Yes,
and I taught at Ailey Camp Chicago, and that was the first time that I was introduced to affirmations. So we had the kids do these 10 affirmations, and like mostly Black kids from inner city, Black and brown kids, right? And so we would do these 10 affirmations, and like we start the day with them and end the camp day with them through the summer. And at the beginning, it was just like pulling teeth, but by the end of it, like, I swear, like, I still see kids now in the city and they'll be like, Mr. Peter, and they'll start saying the affirmations. Like,
Do you remember them?
I remember most of them, not all of them.
Okay.
But they remember all of them, and they'll see you on the street and just like start saying these affirmations. Like, it's just like crazy how something like so little, those things do make a difference.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what do I remember? I will not use the word can't to define my possibilities.
Oh.
Was one of
Wait,
it.
hold on. That's great.
Okay,
I
say it
love that.
again.
I will not use the word can't to define my possibilities.
I will not use the word can't to define my possibilities. That's amazing.
That's beautiful. Because that is something that I do struggle with, right? But I'm also trying to figure out a new routine. Because my routine is honestly just up in the
What's
air
your
at this
sign?
point. I'm a Taurus.
Okay.
But very much so routine driven.
Yes.
But I'm curious about, like honestly, like what your routine looks like, but also like how does coffee fit into your routine?
So I drink coffee pretty much every day. I think one of the things like now I'm cognizant of where I spend my money, right? So supporting Black and brown businesses. My friend Melissa has a coffee shop called Everybody's Busy. So part of my day, getting dressed, going to get coffee, like, cause it would get me out of the house. It would get me out of my funk. It would have me have something to do,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so I found out about you guys, so I definitely support the Monday coffee. I bought a bunch. So
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So I give it out like as gifts, like, I mean, because I want other people to know about it. I'm like
Thank you.
a networking, like I want people,
Yes, you are.
I know great
You're very
people,
much on
right?
that.
I
Yeah.
know amazing people, so I want people to know about them too. So I'm like a connector in that way.
Yeah.
Like I want people to know what my friends are doing because they're doing great work, right? And if I give you a recommendation or if I'm like, go to this person, like I know that they're gonna provide you with the best quality, the best service. So
Yeah.
I don't recommend just people like, that I don't know or that I don't have a connection with. Like I'm gonna buy your product first and try it out before I say, oh, you should check this out,
Yeah. For sure.
I feel like as people should, like it's all about, like the quality control, right? It's
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna introduce you to something that it's not good, that could cause harm to you
Right.
in any way.
Yeah. But so Everybody's Busy. I go there for coffee. I got a stock of Monday coffee in my fridge.
Love that.
Where else did I go? Oh, Roosevelt Collection. There's like a French press spot that just opened, which is
Yes.
really good.
It's owned by a Black woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one I did, there was another Black-owned roaster that had beans at Whole Foods, so I bought it and I forgot to do it while I was there. And I was like, would this be weird if I brought it back and like used the grinder here?
Right, you didn't open it. Okay, so with that routine that you're putting in place and with the winter and all that changing, what are 3 things that you believe everyone should add to their daily self-care, self-love routine?
Coloring.
Coloring.
Yes, it is so fun and relaxing. But
I need to get a coloring
I
book.
want a coloring book.
Yes, it's-
Monday coffee coloring. Yay!
But like it brings back all the memories. Like if you get a pack of crayons, just the smell when you open it up, and then you know you don't have COVID either when you smell the crayon.
Yes, it's a great COVID tester.
Smell the wax.
Right.
Smell,
But no,
literally smell the wax.
it was like, so I had a friend stay with me for like on and off for a few weeks during the pandemic, and so just like finding stuff to do because like it helped me a lot because I was like watching Netflix or just binging stuff and just finding activities to do, yoga.
Oh, yoga.
What else? Finding good music. Like
Yeah.
I love Tiny Desk. Watch it. They did like at-home Tiny Desk, so seeing your favorite performers and getting to see their houses.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So like NPR Cribs version.
That's true.
That's
Janae
exactly
Aika
what
is a
it's
very
giving.
nice, like, her home looks pretty.
Who's-
Janae
Oh,
Aika.
yeah, it was
yeah.
beautiful.
I liked hers a lot.
I was like, wait,
But
so-
she's just like a whole like meditation vibe anyway. So
Very
being in her
much so.
house, I just felt like very
At
peace.
ease?
Yeah, peace.
was great.
Warm,
Yeah.
like, yeah. Okay. So last question. As of today, can you say that as a Black man that you learned your self-worth and how to love yourself overall? Like, has that changed during the pandemic, you being by yourself more? Or prior to that, what has that journey been like for you?
Wow.
I think it's still a process. Like I'm still learning to do that, but I'm definitely getting to spend more time with myself. And instead of working so much that I get put on the back burner. But I still think like even though we're at home and we have all, depression is for real. Like
Yes.
is very real. Even though, we're home, we're with ourselves, sometimes your mind isn't with you. So I think taking that time to be with yourself and with your mind and getting your mind focused on you
Yeah.
and getting your mind healthy.
Yeah.
And finding those things for everybody, it's different for, like he doesn't, like meditation, so it's different for everybody, and trying new things, being open to new things. I think like a lot of times we, therapy and all of yoga, all these, that's white people stuff. Like it's not. Like we have to be open to trying it. And it may not be for you, but just be open to trying something new.
Wow,
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely.
That was honestly, that was beautiful. No, for real, I truly felt that. So retweet. I also just wanted to say, honestly, thank you so much for just sharing space with us.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for
And
inviting.
connecting with us. It's, when we were conceptualizing the rollout of Monday Coffee during, the pandemic, we were just like, we wanted to, be able to assist people and connecting with other people. It's like when I first, launched my, Off Kilter, like I would meet people for coffee. Like that's how I started interviewing people,
Yeah.
right? And even when I still worked in a retail sector, I would take these coffee breaks, to work on my other projects. And, when we were both, just sharing like how we were introduced to coffee, we realized that we had very, like similar origin stories about our relationship with coffee. And there we were connecting with coffee, at separate times, but, throughout a similar experience. And so we're just excited and grateful to be able to connect with people and also, assist folks in connecting with others.
Yeah, I mean, I think coffee is such a great connector too. I mean, we can't do it in the same ways that we used to in a coffee shop, but you can always grab a coffee to go and meet somebody outside and be distant and masked and, you
Or
know.
Zoom coffee data,
Right.
they're also kind of cute.
Yeah, but this is, it's a really good product. You definitely, like when I read the little descriptions and where it's from, I definitely taste the notes. So it's a great product.
Thank you, Peter.
Yes, I love it.